Chainsaw Man fans waited a long time for the Reze Arc movie to finally hit theaters in North America. The original anime that released in 2022 became one of the biggest anime sensations of the year, and viewers wanted more of Denji's wild but tragic life. Now the movie has arrived, and it is winning hearts and crushing them at the same time. People online are calling it one of the best anime films ever made, and everyone who watches it just wants to talk about it. Spoilers are flying across social media like chainsaws, making it very hard for fans to avoid them until they see the movie themselves. This movie not only continues Denji's painful story, but also ends with a surprise post-credit scene that creates even more excitement for Season 2. The Reze Arc movie brings stunning animation, intense action moments, and heartbreaking emotional scenes. Fans who know the manga already understand how painful this storyline becomes, but seeing it in motion with music, fights, and voice acting makes it even more powerful. After the movie finishes the main story and leaves viewers emotional, the credits roll. Many would expect that to be the end, but something more waits for those who keep watching. After the credits, there is a special scene that gives the story one last bittersweet push and reminds fans that Chainsaw Man's journey is not close to ending. The post-credit moment turns into the perfect setup for future chainsaw-filled chaos. This film focuses heavily on Denji and Reze's connection. Reze enters Denji's life like a beautiful dream. She is charming, kind, and brings happiness he has never really experienced before. Denji grows up with extreme suffering. He never had a normal childhood, a school, real friends, or even the chance to understand love. Reze gives him all of that for a short time. That is why this arc hits so deeply. It is the story of Denji finally getting something precious, only for it to be ripped away in the most painful way. Reze has her own tragic life and struggles, which makes everything between her and Denji feel real but doomed. The film captures all of those feelings in every frame. During the action scenes, the movie shows why Chainsaw Man became a breakout success. Denji, Reze, and other devils create explosive fights that fill the screen with power and creativity. MAPA proves again that no one does fast and stylish fight animation like them. The movie's visuals feel like an upgrade to everything fans loved from Season 1. The colors pop. The violent combat feels almost like dancing, and every slice from Denji's chainsaws leaves a dramatic impact. The second half of the film barely lets viewers breathe because it is packed with non-stop battles. There are explosions lighting up the sky and emotional punches landing just as hard as the physical hits. It is entertainment at its peak, until the story twists into heartbreak. When Reze confesses that she never went to school either, she and Denji seem closer than ever. They are two lonely people who wanted the dream of a normal life, but their destiny takes them down darker paths. This is the moment where the main part of the movie ends and the credits begin. Anyone who loves these characters will probably be holding tears. The emotional weight is so heavy that it crushes your heart like a devil's grip. The theater suddenly feels silent. Viewers think that the sadness is the movie's final message, a reminder that Denji's happiness never stays. Then the post-credit scene arrives. It adapts the final manga pages of the Reze arc. Denji is shown sitting in the cafe with a bouquet of flowers in his hands. He waits with hope in his heart for Reze to walk through the door. The bouquet symbolizes everything he wanted to give her, a chance for a peaceful life together. Viewers know she will never come. He waits because he still believes in her. His love refuses to break even after all the violence and betrayal. The scene sits quietly for a moment and reminds the audience of the human boy behind the chainsaws. He is still innocent enough to believe in the possibility of love. Power suddenly bursts into the cafe, full of chaos and energy. She sees the flowers and assumes, in her usual dramatic way, that they must be for her. She snatches them and fights with Denji for the bouquet. This silly moment switches the emotional tone and saves the audience from drowning in sorrow. It gives everyone permission to laugh again and leaves them with a lighter heart as they leave the theater. Even though the movie ends on trauma and pain, this one scene shows that Denji still has someone in his life who cares about him in a strange but true way. It highlights the bond he has with Power, which will become one of the most important parts of Season 2. The post-credit scene may seem like a simple comedy moment, but it secretly prepares the audience for the future story. Fans who read the manga already understand that the relationship between Denji and Power is about to reach a deeper and more emotional level. The Reze arc is tragic, but things will only get more intense from here. The upcoming arcs, International Assassins and Control Devil, show how brutal the world around Denji will become. These arcs include new powerful enemies, shocking deaths, and painful character development. Denji and Power's connection will be tested in ways that make the Reze arc look soft. The movie's ending also hints that Chainsaw Man is nowhere near the finish line. Mappier clearly has success on their hands. The film is already being praised by fans and critics. With how popular the series has become, Chainsaw Man Season 2 feels guaranteed. The remaining chapters of Part 1 of the manga fit perfectly into a new season. It could easily become another 12 or 13 episode run. Some fans even believe Mappier may choose to continue Chainsaw Man with more movies instead of regular seasons. Since this movie looks so beautiful, many would love to see that happen. Still, whether the story continues on TV or in theaters, one thing is certain. The next part of Denji's life is full of darkness. The post-credit scene, while funny and sweet, only hides the heartbreak waiting around the corner. The forces that control the world of devils are getting stronger. Every character is heading toward fate-altering moments. Denji's dream of a normal life becomes harder to hold on to. Power's importance to his emotional stability becomes more clear. Their sibling-style bond will become the emotional core of the next part of Chainsaw Man. Fans who laugh during that post-credit joke will cry later when they see what the future holds. Chainsaw Man is famous for surprising people. It paints a picture of chaos and humor, but then suddenly flips the story into tragedy. The Reze arc movie follows that exact formula. It gives audiences moments of love, hope, and freedom, only to break everything apart again. That is what makes it unforgettable. Viewers leave the theater with a punch to the heart, but also excitement. They want to know what happens next. They want to follow Denji and Power into the fire. They want to see the world of devils get even crazier. Reze will remain one of the strongest memories in Denji's mind. Her appearance in the story was short but meaningful. She represented the first taste of love for him, even if she had her own dark mission. The tragedy is that both of them could have been happier in a different life. The post-credit scene reminds the audience that even when a relationship ends painfully, life keeps moving. Power crashes into the scene like a reminder that Denji still has someone by his side. The sadness never disappears, but Chainsaw Man knows how to mix heartbreak with comedy so that the audience can survive the emotional roller coaster. The post-credit scene signals more than an emotional break. It is a structural bridge that brings the audience into the next phase of Denji's story. Season 2 will take the dynamic between Denji and Power into deeper territory. Their relationship will show that family does not always come from blood. Sometimes a loud, greedy, cat-loving devil girl becomes the most important person in your life. The movie leaves viewers with that spark of hope right before the storm hits. Fans who look at the Chainsaw Man timeline already know that the International Assassins arc and the Control Devil arc are filled with some of the most unforgettable and shocking events in the series. Big decisions, deadly battles, and emotional explosions shape Denji's journey. The Reze arc movie gently touches viewers with love, then prepares to drop them into terror in the next round. Maya PPA has created the perfect tease by ending the movie on a scene where love and humor meet. The excitement for Season 2 has now gone through the roof. This movie has proved once again why Chainsaw Man is a global hit. It balances chaos and tragedy while creating characters that feel alive even in the most unreal situations. The Reze arc movie tells a complete story, but the post-credit scene tells the audience to be ready for more. Denji's chainsaws will roar again. The devils will become even more terrifying. The emotional stakes will rise higher than ever. Fans who leave the theater might still be crying, laughing, and shaking, but they will already be thinking about when the next chapter begins. No one who watches the Reze arc movie will walk away without feeling something. The way the story ends just proves that Chainsaw Man knows how to cut into the heart. The post-credit scene creates the perfect final note by mixing sorrow with a tiny bit of joy. It shows that Denji still has people in his life worth fighting for. It promises that future seasons will explore that important bond while putting it through the most terrifying challenges. That tiny moment between Denji and Power in the cafe becomes a symbol of hope before everything changes forever. Chainsaw Man's Reze arc movie did exactly what fans hoped for. It gave a beautiful story, unforgettable fights, powerful heartbreak, and a final scene that continues the legacy of this anime. Season 2 feels closer than ever, and now the world is waiting to see how MPPA delivers the next level of madness. The perfect post-credits scene will make viewers smile for a moment, then fear what comes next. That is the magic of Chainsaw Man. It knows that love and pain always follow each other. Denji might still be sitting in that cafe in our minds holding his bouquet, but he will not sit still for long. He has a new journey to face. When Chainsaw Man returns, viewers will jump back into the fight with him, ready to scream, laugh, and cry all over again. The Reze arc ending shows that even the quietest scene can hold the biggest promise. The best and the worst are still ahead. Fans just have to wait a little longer to see it all explode. Chainsaw Man Season 2 is coming, and the Reze arc movie has opened the door in the most perfect way. The journey is about to get violent again, not only on the battlefield but deep inside Denji's heart. That is what makes Chainsaw Man so special. The story cuts, but it also heals. The post-credit scene reminds us that no matter how dark things get, Denji still has someone who will grab the flowers, even if she thinks they belong to her. Season 2 will show how strong that bond truly is. Denji and Power are ready for their biggest emotional test yet. Reze left a wound that will not heal, but it pushes the story forward with more intensity. The movie has done its job. Fans are now waiting for the next wave of chainsaws, devils, and heartbreaking surprises. The perfect sigh of relief at the end of the movie turns into the loudest scream of excitement for the next season. That is why Chainsaw Man continues to dominate the anime world. It cuts deep, and this is only the beginning.